calm before the storm. Let's go! Cayenne. Not right, are you? Guy's low-key struggling a little bit. He had major neck surgery last year and he's just moving a little bit tentatively. I don't know if you saw that then when he walked across, but it's showing me signs he's like got this neuro firing, showing me signs that he's in pain. So he's on a bit of pain meds. He's on a bit of reduced exercise at the moment. You haven't had a good year of it, have you? Stomach surgery to remove 5 rubber ducts, 9 days before neck surgery because of a slipped disc. Would you seem happy enough? Guys, welcome back to this crazy series where there is 104 parts, but we're only on part 8. And the reason for such a long series is because I had this lifelong dream to open a kennel-less rescue sanctuary abroad in France. And I never really held myself accountable. And then when Mum passed away last year because of stage 4 pancreatic cancer, that was the real trigger in reminding me, and some of you guys have probably had the same experience where something comes along, hits you like a brick and says, life is really, really short. You know, those dreams, those goals that you've been talking about all this time, they're not waiting for you. And this is my way of holding me accountable to this dream and this really big target of putting away £300,000 to go and purchase that property outright and create this paradise for homeless dogs. I'm Jace, this is Loki, this is Bonnie, and we are here to tell you all about our week this week. Then we're going to go over to the whiteboard where I discuss my finances and be a completely open book about where I am financially in order to try and attain that £300,000 goal in the next 2 years. We upload every Friday at 6 o'clock. So first things first, I went to the rescue centre again. I volunteer at my local rescue as often as I physically can, given how busy I am sometimes with the boarding and daycare work through the Portsmouth retreat. That's not always possible, but I try and get out there at least once a week, if not once every 10 days. And I had some great time with big old Blaze, the Dutch herder, who is just such a love bug, bless him, especially after he's got that frustration out of him. I spent some time with Diego, the Cane Corso, aka Le Horse, who is a lovely nature, bless him. And I got to spend some time with little Milo, who is struggling so much as a French bulldog with severe allergies inside of kennel life. Bless him. And he really does need a home. I will put adoption details in the description if you are able to help poor little Milo. Now, I said this last week, I didn't spend money this week. And then this week I might have gone to go and view a vehicle, a car, to go and put a deposit down on it. Well, at least it's not the camera that I was looking at, right? In all honesty, the Mercedes is having so many problems at this moment in time. I've had to look for a more economic vehicle and one that is suitable for the doggy daycare. I'm not going to ruin the surprise immediately, but I'm going to show you the new dog dad wagon, hopefully on next week's episode. Some of you may or may not know that me and my partner split up very recently within the last month. And we owned a motorhome outright from the last 4 or 5 months ago when we purchased it. And I've been preparing this for sale because she has equity in it. And we finally got it listed last week. We have been inundated with inquiries. Some of them are, what's the best word for it? Really silly inquiries. I'm going to pop some up here just to show you how silly some of these really are. But the main thing is it's listed. We've had a serious buyer come around and look at it. We're just biding our time to finally close that sale, but it should be shortly given the amount of interest we've received so far. So that's a big tick in the right box. 2 more pieces of action taken this week was I was chasing some bookings inside of the boarding and daycare, which has resulted in consistent work moving forwards, which is great. And I managed to sell an item, which I'll go through on the whiteboard now. 2 things you might notice. I've got a Barkley, who is lovely, and I've had a haircut, and that's because I filmed this the following day. Guys, we are here to put up the whiteboard. I'm here to give some kisses. I love you too. I love you too. Isn't he so handsome? Well, that was an incredibly awkward moment, so after having stopped filming, put all the camera equipment away, opened Final Cut Pro, and downloaded all of the footage, I realised that in the finance section, at this very first point, Barkley had knocked my microphone when he gave me a kissy, and there was no audio. So, having put all of the equipment back out again, we're filming this very first part, which is about 30 seconds, which is the first subcategory,
fiat money. Now, fiat money are classed as anything that's electronically banked in cash, in a cash ISA, or a stocks and shares ISA at this moment in time. And I'm pleased to say I added £260 to the total this week, bringing that total up to £3,995. The second subcategory is Pokemon cards. Yes, illustrations on the card. Very nostalgic for me personally because I grew up inside of that era, and they are worth, my graded cards and my full collections are worth about £2,000. Now, unfortunately, the third category has got me a bit scuppered this week, and I have to report a loss on this. It's cryptocurrency. Now, it is a hugely volatile industry, and if you can stomach the ups and downs of the cryptocurrency market, you can absolutely stomach the normal ups and downs of the stock market in the very minute fluctuations that happens there. Maybe that's what I'm training myself for. Maybe it's a mental stability exercise. But my holdings unfortunately went down overnight 25%. So I got to record a loss of £4,000 from 24,000 down to £20,000 this week because the market hasn't returned yet. The final subcategory is the motorhome that's been listed for sale now. When I was registering the value of this before, I was expecting me and Gracie to be together and sell the motorhome and cumulatively put our money together for a really quick sale. I undervalued it at £12,000. Now we've overpriced it a little bit to get the real value of the motorhome. I'm only going to personally receive, once Gracie receives her equity, about £10,000. So I need to downgrade that 12 down to £10,000, which means this week's total has gone down to 35,995 in total. I know that's nearly a £6,000 loss, but this is the reality of it, guys. I know I'm not putting money away fast enough. I've got some great months for the boarding and daycare coming up through the Portal Retreat, but I need to push harder inside of this social media side of things. And I also need to push the dog training side of things in the business too. So that's what I'm going to be focused on for the next few weeks. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, guys. Every like, every subscription means the world to me, Bonnie and Loki. Again, thank you for your support. We'll see you on the next one. Stay awesome.